Alright, so we did the job. We did like I think it's like 12, how you call, like 12 cubics of wood, of firewood. So I only like me and my dad was cutting it. So it took like from 12 o'clock till right now it's 5, so basically 4.5 hours around that. And yeah, so for next thing is I'm gonna need to basically split it into firewood and probably store it, but only into like a pile, because the winter is here and still right now it started to snow, so we'll see about the weather. If tomorrow weather is not gonna let us do the job, so we're probably gonna go into the garage and we have other things to do. So, but until it's 5 o'clock, which means I still have some time, so probably gonna throw some darts, make some few orders, because I have like few orders also today. And yeah, so that's kind of it. So let's see what's the car. Maybe all that foam has been dried. Let's see. Boom, here we have light. Okay, let's check. Let's check. Yep, all the foam is pretty much hardened, so I think we can trim it off right now, especially the end of the car. And we're gonna see, maybe we need to spray a little bit more, so we have like always a perfect amount of foam to be working with. And yeah, as I showed you previously yesterday, so I sprayed it all. As I mentioned, you always want to spray like those bubbles, so then yeah, you don't have basically holes. And if you're doing like something with a filler or with a putty, you don't have to use as much, and you don't really like care about as much. So I think I'm gonna do a few orders and gonna trim it off. So we have pre-cutted basically all these bubbles that here was, and I slightly to getting into shape I want with this gap. I still gonna need to fill up a bit more to make it like perfect, but because of our like glass fabric that is going to put like 2 or 3 layers, I have to make it slightly bigger. I think it could be like around 6-7 millimeters. So we're gonna trim it exactly the same, all the gaps to be in the correct position. And when we're gonna put all the glass fiber, which is going to be thicker, so then we could have perfect lines, perfect gaps as we want. So yeah, and of course with the glass fiber, if you are missing some and the gap is slightly too big, you can always put like a glass fiber putty or filling, and make it absolutely perfection all the time. So gonna continue cutting those. So I have trimmed basically all that's like excess in rough shapes. So that's how pretty much it looks. Pretty much straight, slightly inwards at the top. So that's good. And yeah, I think that's pretty much very good. I think we're gonna now like trim this excess a bit off and like figure out the tip for the middle part, because back in the day it was like fully covered, but after a lot of a lot of times, and a lot of attempts of going outside and inside and going by the bumps, so I kind of damaged it. And by summer and rained, and this, like, especially this part was pretty thin of foam, and it kind of started to like bend, something like that. I don't know why. So now I'm gonna redo it a new one, and it's gonna pretty much stay until we're gonna cover everything with glass and epoxy. So that should be alright. So we're gonna trim it and spray it some more, and probably gonna check where else I could kind of like spray some more, or maybe mark with a marker where I need to cut it and respray it on some places. So yeah, that's pretty much how it looks, and it looks alright, I would say. I really like this kind of situation with the front arch, so I think I'm gonna like sand it probably more of a, you know, really pointy arrow over here. Those I might gonna sand it some more, so it will be like really thin, and we're gonna put the glass layer is gonna be covered and a bit thicker, so that should be looking all right. But yeah, pretty much I really like that. I think we're gonna definitely like cut out through, so for more of a look. I don't know, what do you think? Is this looking cool or not? I think it like matches, like the vents over here, this splitter. Here we have covered like a fog light, and here is like actual bumpers, like plastic that goes like around here, and from there like around here. So here's like an actual vent for, I think, for radiator, I think. And so yeah, this is very good position for this kind of curve. So yeah, that's pretty much looking cool. And what we are basically doing is creating this kind of like a split, so some air goes directly where it should go, no like ventilations are covered, so that's very good. And reason why I left it like that, like opened, so if the air flows here, and just in case I'm gonna put something over here, so it has a closed space where the air just guts and drops in and kind of drags, you know. So the way I think it's supposed to be is the air going this way, and it's slightly pushing towards the escape, which is here, so it's gonna like flow. This is like going upward, so it's gonna like flow and basically gonna go through the vent over here and straight like shoot out. So that should be fine. Here is real easy, as you can see. It goes basically straight to the tire. And here, I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut out this excess over here. I think here is like a thermostat or something for inside temperature. But here I think we're gonna cut a hole, and over there the same. And we are gonna create like a, how you call, we're gonna put like a pipe. That pipe should be like going all the way from the bumper, and from the bumper like inside, like over inside the wheel, and it should like supposed to go like besides the coil, where it like turns, where this like arm. And basically I will try to make a ventilation for the brakes, because that is in the future plans. As you saw, I didn't change the brakes, but I have a new ones. I have the stock ones, the new ones, so we're gonna see how we can manage to do like a ventilation, because there is a brake like a guard, so I think we're gonna cut like the new guard like a hole and make it that air that comes directly from the from the fog light goes directly into the brake caliper and cools it down. Because especially for these cars, if there's a rear wheel drive, the front brakes are especially important, and if you're going pretty much fast on corners braking and stopping a lot, it could heat up real fast. So I think that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, just basically a little bit of plan. I told you guys why we are doing this kind of style. I like this style. It's like how you say, back to 2000s, because nowadays everybody wears an MPAC or MG badge, puts some new wheels, puts coils, or recuts the stock springs, and that's the build. I don't see like much of an interest of seeing just a low car with tinted windows and no modifications. So I don't know. What do you think? What is your opinion of like building a real project cars? Because I think nowadays people are like afraid, like, oh, it's a lot of cash, it's a lot of time, you know, time consuming, you're gonna ruin the car. Man, if you're in love with cars, if you have project cars especially, which is like not expensive. For example, this car I bought like 4 or 5 years ago for 800 euros. So for me, that 800 euros is, I don't know, a week or few days of work. What you can lose it. You're having basically fun. That's your hobby, that's your style. And that's what basically a car guy should do, you know? Just buy like a shoebox, or at least in a good condition, at least for engine bay and for like interior, you know. All the outside, everything, you can weld it, you can make it look cool, you can repaint it, you can wrap it if you want, you know. So that is not a big deal. And what we are basically doing, we're doing things I love, things for you guys, because some of you probably have also same like mindset. Oh, we can do a real cool car, we can build this, build that, put a spoiler on the back, put some kind of vent on the front, put some nice wheels, put some different interior, you know, maybe tune an engine, swap it, you know. So that is pretty much cool. And what's in conclusion, what can I say? This is my hobby, this is my personal stuff. I don't care what anybody tells. This is what I like. This is where I can put all my, you know, expectations, all everything into reality, what I think. And yeah, basically that's it. That is what I'm doing for like free time, you know. So yeah. In conclusion, as always, if you like this kind of type of videos, I know it wasn't much. I mean, I cut like 12 cords of wood, and tomorrow I'm gonna probably feel my arms a bit sore and gonna split some more wood. Anyways, if you like it, drop a like and see you guys tomorrow.